Hello, I am Todd Cotta. This is Alex. Today we're talking about a brand new gun introduced to California just a few days ago. The Max-9 from Ruger, right here on Reviews It. With all of the legal things happening in the world today, especially in California, there's three lawsuits going forward today that will change the landscape of guns in California. As part of this, California is trying to save face, and they took the micro-stamping requirement that Kamala Harris approved and that Arnold Schwarzenegger signed into law way back in the day off of the requirements for the California roster. Now, the California roster is just a thing that all the guns that come to California have to go through a clearinghouse to make sure they're safe, right? And so they put things on there that were impossible for the manufacturers to do. Microstamping was impossible. So therefore, we haven't gotten a new gun in California for 9 years now.
Well, it wasn't really saving face. I mean, when it came down to it, it was just, like you said, impossible.
They knew they were going to lose.
So they said, well, yeah, I guess that's totally unrealistic. So they dropped that requirement.
Yep. So now we have the Ruger LCP-22.
I believe it's LCP-2, which is their little 22.
We have the Mark IV 22.
One of the variations, not all of them. There's several. We've had people asking, but there's, I believe, one that is. And we got
the third one. Well, there's a new SIG coming out now, the SIG California 320.
The 320 M18 CA MA version.
Yeah, there you go. The first few we talked about are out, but the SIG Sauer 320 CA or the M...
It's the P320 M18 CA MA version.
That one is approved for California, but they're not shipping yet, and places like the big shops are taking thousands of pre-orders for those things. Put $100 down and get it when it comes in and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So they haven't really released that SIG yet, but this one is.
Yes.
Just came out a few weeks ago. The Max-9 from Ruger. Now, this gun's been out for a few years now. It's been all over the country. The standard version comes with a 10 and 12 round magazine.
Yeah.
This gun here for Ruger, for California, because of our, until it goes away, our 10 round capacity.
Which may be happening soon.
Hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully. CRPA.org if you want to learn more about what's happening with these things. There was an absolute great hearing at the Ninth Circuit this week where the California attorneys were getting schooled by the judges.
Well,
it's cool.
CRPA is fighting for us. So, if you guys want the info on them,
yes,
hit them up. They're the ones that are doing it. Support them.
So the California one for now has two 10-round magazines, and both of them come looking like this with just a standard base plate on the magazine. But in the box, there is a finger base plate also that gives you a little longer grip, which makes a huge difference on this gun because it has a very small grip.
Really does.
Yeah. So the magazines are a little bit different. If you can see here, they are a single stack top, which is great for feeding.
Yeah.
And then it's double stack going down, so you have 10 and 10, which beats the Smith & Wesson Shield by
2 rounds.
2-3 rounds, right? Depending on the magazine.
Well, their flush one is 7, and their extended one is 8. Yep.
So you got 2 and 3 rounds more than a Smith & Wesson Shield.
Yes.
What else does this gun bring to the market?
Well, it's nice. It's small. It's kind of going with like the Hellcats and the Smith & Wesson, or not Smith & Wesson, but the SIG 365s, how they have those magazines set up like that. So you're getting more rounds and you're still getting a small package, which is really nice. This is really meant to be an ideal carry gun, and I got to be honest with you, I haven't been a big fan of Ruger pistols in the past, at least they're semi-automatics. I'm really liking this one.
We have this particular gun in our rental case. You see, we have our serial numbers on here, or our stock numbers on here, and people have been using it like crazy.
I hate to say it, I've already shot it too.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I have not shot it yet. There's a few things that I have found with this gun that we're going to need to talk about, but let's go over the stats first, and then I'm going to show you where yesterday one of our regular customers found a fatal flaw in this gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so go over the stats real quick. Let's talk about the sizes and weights. We talked about 10 round and 12 round and all those things, but what else is the thing now?
Okay, we got striker fire. Width is 0.95 inches. Overall length 6 inches. Weight is 18.4 ounces. Unloaded.
18.4, which is only 4 ounces more than an LCR revolver, all polymer. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Now they did a really good job with this. I'm thinking.
I think they've come a long ways.
They really have. They really have. It says grooves, so groove serrations, I believe, right here.
Oh,
it says
6 and 4.
Yeah.
Here. Yep.
And just twist rate of the barrel is 1 to 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not available in Massachusetts yet, but it says it's going to be, and that's probably having to do with some kind of a trigger weight or something like that. It depends on that. And the best part about this gun, $439 retail.
That's one of the big selling points for me. Yeah. I cannot lie. Looking at this gun, okay, well, you know, it's neat. It's not exactly what I like. There's a couple things I wouldn't mind changing, but at that price point, I could totally see adding this to my collection.
Also has the fiber optic front sight.
I'm not a great fan of fiber optic, and I'll tell you why. I've had a lot of guns that had fiber optics, and holstering, unholstering, holstering, unholstering, which this gun is going to be, they tend to get lost.
Yeah.
They tend to get popped out, and now you're having to replace them out. So I'm not a great fan of that. If I do get this, that's probably going to be one of the first things I change out.
Because this gun's been around in the market now for about 3 years now, 2.5 years now, there are aftermarket sights you can get for these.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that would probably
get some tritium sights or whatever, some Trigicons or some...
Yeah, usually, but I do like how
Mariglows.
You do have the green, the bright green in the front with the white circle, and then it blacked out in the back. Yeah. I really like that style of sight because you get that very fast sight acquisition when you come up on target and just let it go. You know, ideally, if you're using this gun, it's going to be pretty close. I mean, within about 3 to 7 yards.
Yeah.
So at that point, yeah, just finding that front sight, lining it up with the rear real quick, should get you on target fast.
Good, good, good. So I want to talk about the gun feels good in the hand. We'll talk about that when we get in the range.
Okay.
Right? I know you've shot this thing. I haven't shot it yet. But let me talk about, real quick before we go in the range, just where we have found the glitch in this gun.
Oh, yes.
And I thought it could have been just the gun that we have in our sales case, not this gun, and I thought it could be just that gun, but today my nephew and I tried out one of our guns that were already in the back, our back stock, and it did the same thing. So let me show you here real quick. When you look at this gun, one thing I found really quickly is that, okay, hold on, let's clear it real quick. First of all, let's make sure this gun is clear. We're going to open it up here real quick. We're going to take a look at it.
Clear.
Everything's clear. Good. We have to put the magazine back in this gun to demonstrate this thing because this has a magazine disconnect, which we hope, with these two cases going forward right now, that it'll be gone here pretty quick. Because if a gun is a gun, it should go off and not be limited by, because when you're in the middle of a fight and your magazine comes out just a 1/4 inch, it's not going to go off.
Yeah.
If you got one last round, you need to use it. It needs to be there.
That could be the round.
This trigger has one issue that I want to talk to you about. It shakes left and right.
That's a lot of shake. I could see it from here. I don't know if the camera can.
Probably 1/16 of an inch.
That's a good amount of wiggle back and forth.
So if you're the kind of person that presses the trigger and you don't get a straight back pull, but you maybe have a little left leaning press to it, you can literally hang this gun up right there.
Yep. I see it.
Because the backside where the safety is hitting the plastic frame underneath here.
So basically what it is that trigger is very similar to a Glock style trigger.
Yes.
So you have to have a full finger on there to get that tip of that safety to disengage the back part up here.
Yep.
And what that's doing is it's catching it on the top.
Yep. And if you listen really close, there's a little catch in the little catch in the slide too. That's catching back here when it goes forward, but it always goes off. But if you're the kind of guy that uses a fingertip, like my customer was yesterday, I can lock it up right now. Every time. You try. You try. You try.
No, he showed it to me, and now that I'm seeing, if you don't have a
straight back press,
so
that little fin on the backside gets caught up on the plastic on the inside of the gun, and it won't let it fire.
So when I tried it out, because he brought it to my attention, I said, well, I had no issues. I shot it just fine. Put a couple mags through it.
But we know how to press it correctly.
So yeah, I
and
totally
if we're
get
in
that.
the middle of a personal defense or a self-defense, are we going to be able to be perfect on that trigger every time?
Nope. Yep. You have no. Yeah.
So I mean, for all the good things this gun has, that's the one fatal flaw that I see in this gun. Now move it back and forth, you'll feel it.
Yeah. No, it's very noticeable.
Yeah.
I don't know if the camera's catching it, but that little wiggle, exactly what you're saying. So if you come a little too much on the trigger right there, it's gonna have the potential of hanging it up, and not letting it go.
But I haven't shot this gun. I know you've shot it, but let's go get this on tape to see what it actually looks like when we go to shoot.
Oh yeah,
let's get out in the range.
All right. All right, got the Ruger Max-9, brand new gun on the California roster. Like to say it's my first time shooting it, but it's not, but first time on video. So let's give her a shot. 10 rounds, safe and clear, getting ready. Safety off. Slides back, magazine's out, safe and clear. So, you know what? I didn't have any hang-ups with the trigger. I know we talked about that. It can go back and forth. Smooth and steady trigger pull, just going straight back like you're supposed to. I had no issues. It's got a little bit of kick to it, but I expect that out of a small 9mm gun. It's gonna have a little bit of kick to it. But I gotta say, I'm kind of impressed. I mean, again, not my first time shooting it. I like it. I like it a lot.
And at 5 yards, shooting pretty quickly. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Especially when it's, the only second time you've ever shot this gun.
Yeah, a little bit more time and practice with this gun, and I feel confident that I'd get a lot better and keep them all in the white.
Here we go. My first time shooting the Max-9 from Ruger with the extended base plate on the magazine. Let's see how it goes. Holy mackerel. This is still a little, my finger was coming off the bottom of this one. My fingers are a little fat, so it was coming off the bottom of this one. You could feel it was a little snappier because it's such a light gun. But let's go down here and take a look. By the way, we're clear here.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Spot on. Now, I'm a straight back trigger puller. I never had any trouble with that trigger. Neither did you.
Yep.
But the fact that it can happen is the issue.
Is concerning. Is concerning. Yes.
Why don't we go back in the store, we'll clean this thing up, get it all over with, and wrap up. Real quick shooting experience. The grip is still too small, even with the extender for my hand.
I'm hoping, and I haven't looked that much into it, being that yesterday was my first chance to mess with it. I'm gonna look around online and see if they do have a longer extension, like a Pierce extension or something like that for it.
But you saw my 5 yards, and I wasn't shooting too slow. I mean,
no, you started picking it up once you got a feel for it.
Yeah, the first one was a little bit jumpier, and then it got on. Once I got on focus on that front sight, I had a two-inch grouping in less than 10 rounds in less than 15 seconds.
Yeah, yeah, and that's your first
every time with touching this gun, and I didn't have a problem with the trigger.
No, neither did I.
But
the fact that it can is concerning.
One of my employees here made a comment about the trigger. He goes, "It's a good trigger, for a Ruger.
Yeah.
And if you've ever shot an LCP, LCP2, if you've ever shot any of the Ruger tiny guns, they have arguably the worst triggers in the industry.
Yeah. Yeah, not a fan.
This gun has come a long ways for Ruger to improve that.
It really has. Having shot it again, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can honestly say I dig this little gun. It's a nice little gun.
$439.
That's probably one of the biggest things.
And
that price
it's
point.
a good gun. It's a really, really good gun.
I'm liking it. Yeah.
So just, minus that little tiny glitch with the trigger, Ruger, I need you guys to tighten up that trigger so it doesn't have any lateral space to go left and right. Yeah. You do that, and you've got it made. Or open up the backside of the frame a little bit more so it doesn't catch.
That'd be nice if they did maybe a recall or something and kind of got that little situation fixed up.
Yeah, that would be.
Because other than that, I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't even mind keeping that trigger the way it is. Not even going after like an aftermarket. I was going to call it a name.
The reset indicator could be a little bit better. But if you put a bigger reset indicator, that's a bigger click on the backside too.
Yeah.
So it's a smooth trigger. It really is.
For a carry gun, that's what I want. I'm happy with this. If they just fix that little issue, I'd be totally fine with it. I wouldn't even be looking for an aftermarket. I would be just good to go. But for me, I would probably end up changing out that sight just because of my past experience.
Yeah.
But that's just personal.
Well, there you go, guys. That is the Ruger Max-9 California Edition for all you California buyers out there, in case you wanted to know if this gun can compete with the Shield or can compete with some of the other guns on the market.
Yeah.
There you go. Any other questions?
Nope, that'll do it.
Hey, thank you for watching Reviews It. Please subscribe below. We always love to have you come and subscribe with us. And if you want more videos like this, let us know. We'll be able to get more for you there. You guys have a great day.